He hadn't gone very far. In fact, he was on the outskirts of Himeji when a woman came running towards him from the other side of the Hanada Bridge. He squinted into the sunlight. "It's you," Otsu cried, clutching his sleeve. Musashi gasped in surprise. Otsu's tone was reproachful. "Takezo, surely you haven't forgotten. Don't you remember the name of this bridge? Did it slip from your mind that I promised to wait here for you no matter how long it took? You've been waiting here for the last 3 years? He was astounded. "Yes, Osugi and Uncle Gong caught up with me right after I left you. I was sick and had to take a rest, and I almost got myself killed, but I got away. I've been waiting here since about 20 days after we said goodbye at Nakayama Pass," pointing to the basket weaving shop at the end of the bridge, a typical little high road stall selling souvenirs to travelers. She continued, "I told the people there my story, and they were kind enough to take me on as sort of a helper, so I could stay and wait for you. Today is the 917th day, and I've kept my promise faithfully." She peered into his face, trying to fathom his thoughts. "You will take me with you, won't you?" The truth, of course, was that Musashi had no intention of taking her or anyone else with him. At this very moment, he was hurrying away to avoid thinking about his sister, who he wanted to see so badly and felt so strongly drawn towards. The question raced through his agitated mind. What can I do? How can I embark on my quest for truth, knowledge with a woman, with anyone interfering all the time? And this particular girl is, after all, still betrothed to Marahachi. Musashi couldn't keep his thoughts from showing on his face. "Take you with me? Take you where?" he demanded bluntly. "Wherever you go. I'm setting out on a long, hard journey, not a sightseeing trip. I won't get in your way, and I'm prepared to endure some hardships." "Some? Only some? As many as I have to." "That's not the point, Otsu. How can a man master the way of the samurai with a woman tagging along? Wouldn't that be funny?" people would say. "Look at Musashi. He needs a wet nurse to take care of him." She pulled harder at his kimono, clinging like a child. "Let go of my sleeve," he ordered. "No, I won't. You lied to me, didn't you?" "When did I lie to you?" "At the pass, you promised to take me with you." "That was ages ago. I wasn't really thinking then either, and I don't have time to explain. What's more, it wasn't my idea, it was yours. I was in a hurry to get moving, and you wouldn't let me go until I promised. I went along with what you said because I had no choice." No. "You can't mean what you're saying. You can't," she cried, pinning him against the bridge railing. "Let go of me. People are watching. Let them. When you were tied up in the tree, I asked if you wanted me to help. You were so happy, you told me twice to cut the rope. You don't deny that, do you?" She was trying to be logical in her argument, but her tears betrayed her. First abandoned as a child, then jilted by her betrothed, and now this, Musashi, knowing how alone she was in the world and caring for her deeply, was tongue-tied, though outwardly more composed. "Let go," he said, with finality. "It's broad daylight and people are staring at us. Do you want us to be a sideshow for these busybodies?" She released his sleeve and fell sobbing against the railing, her shiny hair falling over her face. "I'm sorry," she mumbled. "I shouldn't have said all that. Please forget it. You don't owe me anything." Leaning over and pushing her hair from her face with both hands, he looked into her eyes. "Otsu," he said tenderly, "during all that time, you were waiting until this very day? I've been shut up in the castle dungeon. For 3 years, I haven't seen the sun." "Yes, I heard." "You knew?" "Takuan told me." "Takuan? He told you everything?" "I guess so. I fainted at the bottom of the ravine near the Mikazuki tea house. I was running away from Osugi and Uncle Gong. Takuan rescued me. He also helped me make arrangements for work here at the souvenir shop. That was 3 years ago. And he stopped in several times. Only yesterday he came and he had some tea. I wasn't sure what he meant, but he said, it's got to do with a man and a woman. So who can say how it will turn out? Musashi dropped his hands and looked down the road leading west. He wondered if he'd ever again meet the man who'd saved his life. And again, he was struck by Taquan's concern for his fellow men, which seemed all-encompassing and completely devoid of selfishness. Musashi realized how narrow-minded he himself had been, how petty, to suppose that the monk felt a special compassion for him alone. His generosity encompassed Ojin, Otsu, anyone in need whom he thought he could help. It has to do with a man and a woman. Taquan's words to Otsu sat heavily on Musashi's mind. It was a burden for which he was ill-prepared, since in all the mountains of books he'd pored over those 3 years, there wasn't one word about the situation he was in now. Even Taquan had shrunk from becoming involved in this matter between him and Otsu. Had Taquan meant that relationships between men and women had to be worked out alone by the people involved? Did he mean that no rules applied as they did in the art of war? That there was no foolproof strategy, no way to win? Or was this meant as a test for Musashi, a problem only Musashi would be able to solve for himself? So the chapter somewhat ends with that, and it's an ending with a dichotomy, I would say, because Musashi he's trying to start again and learning the way, but he forgets that there is a past. In other words, he's affected people in the past. Because of his resurrection doesn't mean that everything from the past goes away. It remains. You just have to deal with it, and part of what he's got to deal with now is Otsu. And this book is exactly like this the entire time. Their love story, as you would call it, is so I would say Japanese. It's not a love story that you would read in Western books. It's different. They have a way of communicating them to in a total kind of like mysterious way that they communicate, and that they tell each other how they feel, especially Musashi, a hardened warrior. You can picture like a warrior and how he's just no chink in his armor. He's the shell is just hard, solid, and for him to show affection is it's hard, right? Like he says in that passage, no one teaches you this really, especially back then. None of the books of the way or getting there are showing you how to deal with this little love, or it's not exactly love right now. It's blooming, right? It's on its way. You know, he's affected by her. He's affected by Otsu, and slowly she's shaping him. Slowly, right? He's got nobody. His sister's in another castle. His mom's gone. His dad's, I think, dead. So he's got Otsu. If he's got anybody, he's got her. Taquan's done. He's gone. So that's the dichotomy. He's starting again, but he's not really. You know, he's got to deal with his past. Those things will come to haunt you. They will. In real life, they will. Even though you think you're born again, you're fresh start. Your past is always going to be there. It's going to be in the back of your mind. You're gonna have to deal with it. And this is one, right? So it's grabbing him back, right? He's on his way. And speaking of the way, here's what I have on that. The way is nothing new, especially in the 1600s Japan. The way is something that's always been a part of life. Let me try to find that passage here, and I'll read it real quick. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their paths, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. So, real quick, that was, I picked that up from Proverbs 1:15, and here is an explanation of the way. The way, one of the overarching metaphors used in Proverbs, evoking the image of a road or a footpath. The way stands for the direction of one's life as characterized by one's actions and decisions, which are themselves representative by stepping, walking, or running. Essentially, there are only two roads of travel: the way of wisdom, which leads to righteousness and life, and the way of folly, which tends towards wickedness and death. The wisdom doctrine of the two ways. The way is the good way, the right way, the righteous way. That's the path that is seldomly chosen, with the narrow path, barely visible path, with a narrow gate. The wide open freeway is the one that's always taken. The wide open 6-lane freeway, always taken. The narrow, winding, steep path is the hard path. It's the correct path. And that's where Musashi's headed. He's trying to head down the right path. And little things like Otsu, and I'm not saying she's bad. She's very good, very good. It's very good for the soul of a man to have a woman, but it happens all the time. We graduate, we leave the home, and we think we're on the right path, and things pull us back. They bring us back. For good or for bad, sometimes we think, oh, I have a goal and I'm going to go and do it. It happened to me, it happens to everybody. I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be an architect, and then life gets in the way. For me, there's no regrets. I love the path that I took, wouldn't change it. But that path I thought was going to be shorter and faster, but life got in the way. It just happens. Life happens. And there's no regrets, none. I became a landscape architect, that it was meant for me. I took the path. Other people take the path, right? It's hard. It's not easy. And here we go. And this is what we see with Musashi. He's taken the path. He wants to go. He wants to do the right thing, but his past is right there. It's yanking on his kimono. So anyway, the story gets better as we go, and Otsu doesn't go away. She's going to be there. She's a factor. Okay. Be well, people.